In an electrifying shift of momentum and narrative, the New York Knicks have seized control of their playoff series, heading back to Madison Square Garden with a commanding 2-0 lead over the Boston Celtics, an outcome that has sent shockwaves across the league. What once seemed like a formality for a veteran-laden Celtics squad has now spiraled into a crisis of identity, execution, and, above all, confidence. Boston, a team rich in playoff pedigree and brimming with elite talent, has seen double-digit leads dissolve in consecutive games, each collapse more inexplicable than the last. Despite building sizable advantages, the Celtics have failed to finish, a problem that transcends tactics and drills deep into the psychology of closing out games under pressure. Jaylen Brown attempted to rationalize the loss, pointing to quality looks and missed opportunities, but the underlying truth is more damning. Boston is shooting a dreadful 25 for 100 from beyond the arc over the first two games, and when the three-point well dried up, their mid-range and interior offense followed suit. They went ice-cold in critical fourth-quarter stretches, including a glaring 0-4-10 drought that allowed New York to storm back. Jalen Brunson, on the other hand, continues to cement his status as one of the most reliable closers in the league. His late-game heroics, punctuated by fearless drives and clutch free throws, have galvanized a Knicks team that seems to relish adversity. It's not just about shot-making. It's about poise, rhythm, and belief. The Knicks, once the perennial underdogs of the Eastern Conference, now play with conviction of a team that knows it belongs. That transformation is no accident. In the final minute game 2, it was Mikal Bridges, not a Celtic star, who delivered the dagger. For the second game in a row, Boston failed to even attempt a shot in the waning seconds, a failure of execution that speaks volumes about their leadership on the floor. Jason Tatum's brilliant dunk aside, his reluctance to take ownership in crunch time has become a concern, especially when contrasted with Brunson's assertiveness and the rock-solid decision-making from the Knicks' supporting cast. Inside the Celtics locker room, there's confusion and a palpable sense of disbelief. The team seems shell-shocked, unable to diagnose exactly where things are going wrong. Conversely, the mood in the Knicks camp is calm, confident, even expectant. Their strategy is simple. Stay within striking distance until the 5-minute mark, then let the game slow down into isolation matchups where their clutch players shine. It's an unconventional mindset, but one that has paid dividends in back-to-back fourth-quarter takeovers. Boston's reluctance to call timeouts or reorganize down the stretch has only added to the chaos. And while head coach Joe Mazzulla preaches trust in his players, it's evident that the team is struggling with decision-making in pressure situations. From a macro lens, this isn't just about poor shooting or temporary lapses. It's about the unsettling reality that the Celtics, a team with $2/$300 million wings in Brown and Tatum, are being outclassed late in games by a Knicks squad with less star power but more composure. Brunson, Bridges, and OG and Nunaby have outperformed their more heralded counterparts when it matters most, and that contrast is impossible to ignore. The Celtics, often praised for their road prowess, they've won a road playoff game in 11 straight series, are now staring down the barrel of a do-or-die matchup at the Garden. Historically, they've been the NBA's most consistent road team of this era, but history won't save them on Saturday. Meanwhile, the playoff drama isn't confined to New York and Boston. In the Western Conference, Oklahoma City Thunder back into their series with a statement win, dismantling the Denver Nuggets with a level of energy, pace, and precision that made Game 1 look like an aberration. Nikola Jokic admitted as much, stating bluntly that only one team showed up to play. OKC dominated every facet. Fast break points, rebounds, turnovers, and showcased their full arsenal of weapons. This wasn't just a win, it was a message. The youngest team in the playoffs reminded everyone why they were the West #1 seed, executing with a maturity that belied their age and inexperience. Jokic, ever candid, acknowledged that Denver was simply outplayed and outworked. His own foul trouble compounded the misery, and by the time he exited in the third quarter, the outcome was already decided. Elsewhere, Golden State faces an uphill battle as they prepare for Games 3 and 4 without Steph Curry, who will be sidelined with a hamstring injury. For a Warriors team built around Curry's gravity and offensive orchestration, the challenge now becomes existential. Their defense, a strength all season, will have to carry the burden, especially against a Minnesota squad capable of explosive runs. But the offensive questions loom large. Who steps up in Steph's absence? Steve Kerr's rotation will need heroic efforts from role players like Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga, while Draymond Green must channel his peak two-way impact to keep the team afloat. Without Curry, every possession becomes a grind, and Kerr will be searching for anyone who can hit a timely shot. The margin for error, already razor-thin, is now almost non-existent. And then there's Cleveland, entering the playoffs as one of the presumed powerhouses in the East alongside Boston. The Cavaliers are now in free fall, trailing 0-2 to a surging Indiana Pacers team. The Cavs' woes, however, are more easily explained. Injuries have decimated their core, with Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, and Evan Mobley all sidelined. Cleveland is missing not just firepower, but its defensive backbone and floor general. Still, the credit must go to Indiana. The Pacers have emerged as perhaps the league's most underappreciated squad, blending blistering offensive tempo with unselfish ball movement. They've overwhelmed Cleveland not just with speed, but with execution. It's the culmination of a 2-year rise that many overlooked, and now they appear poised to capitalize on Cleveland's misfortunes. Down 2 games and without their stars, the Cavaliers' hopes hang by a thread. Across the board, the NBA playoffs have delivered chaos, character tests, and unexpected twists. Boston, once a juggernaut, now teeters on the brink. OKC, long seen as too green for the moment, looks battle-hardened. The Warriors' dynasty enters a new phase of vulnerability, and Indiana, yes, Indiana, is rewriting the script in the East. The postseason always reveals truths. And right now, the truth is this: pedigree alone isn't enough. Execution, resilience, and timing are what separate winners from contenders. Saturday looms large. For some, it's the next game. For others, it's everything.